Hello and welcome back. Today I'm just going to show you how we set up our meat chickens. They're Cornish crosses outside. So I figured it out and they were like a week old. I was told 2 weeks, but I am not sure if that's true. So they're about 4 weeks old now, almost 5. And they've been outside for a couple weeks. I'm going to show you how we set it up. Super cheap. And yeah, I'll just let you know if you guys are thinking about doing meat birds. This is a temporary area that we set up for them so that they can kind of be a little bit more out, scratching around, getting grit just like every other chicken, and getting bugs and all that stuff. So these are our chickens, and they are Cornish crosses, like I said. We don't have pasture here, as you can see. It's pretty desolate, except for where you can tell things have been watered, which is one of these areas. We have a drip system that has a leak, and it happens to leak right here. So anyways, we lost 2 of the 25 that we originally got before they came outside. So they were still in the brooder, and they just randomly died. Not really sure why. But I'll just kind of go through and show you what we've done. They're actually pretty friendly, a lot more friendly than I expected them to be. So in order to keep things on the cheap and not to have to buy a bunch of T-posts, I got these, and they're actually for electric fencing, so I figured we could repurpose them. They have the one stake in the bottom, and the supplies for this I got from Tractor Supply. These are $1.99 for each one, and they're 4 feet high. So I just got as many as I thought we needed, and all of the chicken wire. Like a little tip for you guys, you see this? It's chicken wire, right? Well, if you go to a place like Home Depot or Lowe's and buy stucco netting, then it's way cheaper. You get 150 yards for the price that you get 50 yards if you go to the garden section and buy chicken wire. It's about the same price as if you just go ahead and go to the stucco section and buy stucco netting. We've done this for years, and that has always worked for us. This is actually chicken wire. We just had a piece of scrap of that, and you can see it's shorter. So this is what we have set up here, and then that water is $25, maybe 30, I can't remember, at Tractor Supply. But ever since we got that, it has not worked right, and I'll get back to that in a minute. That trough was here on our property before we moved here, and it was one of those things left, so we've repurposed it for these hens. As you can see, they get inside of it. Hi, chickens. They're all looking really good right now. Hi. All right, so basically what's cool about using these is that you can just snap them in. It has a little thing here, and we just snapped it in. We didn't have to tie it on or anything. We didn't have to mess with wiring it on. These birds aren't going to be flying anywhere really, so we just step over this as the door. But I also made an area here, which we had wired shut, but I originally made it to where we could pull a stake out and move it if we needed to get in there. But I've set it up to where we shouldn't need to come in here unless something is wrong. So anyways, and then I just used regular like scraps of whatever other kind of fencing that I could find, and again just snapped it in. So this is a nice big area, and this is all going to, we bought this tarp from Harbor Freight. They're a little bit cheaper to buy tarps from them, and just some zip ties from Harbor Freight. And we got the 4 T-posts that you see, 1, 2, and then of course the 2 on this side, and the 2 cattle panels that are put together. We got those from Tractor Supply. So if you had 4 T-posts and a couple of cattle panels, you really could get away with keeping this many chickens in this area if you were really crunched on space, or you didn't have the extra money to spend on all these other posts. But For us, we like to give them animals the best area that we can possibly give them, and that is what we've done here, even with our meat birds. And so they're only going to be around for, I don't know, maybe 4 more weeks, and then we'll be butchering them. But we do have a plan to keep that going, so we may just leave this whole area up, and they haven't eaten this down all that much. That's just mulch, so ignore that. But what we've done here is zip tied all these on, and then through the bottom we zip tied, pulled the tarp underneath and zip tied it to there. My kids did this. I probably wouldn't have, but I guess it helps a little to keep the wind from catching it. They just zip tied it over the T-post without breaking a hole in it. And this was a very long tarp. It was a 19 foot by, oh my gosh, maybe 50. It was too long, but it was the one that was working for the width best for us. And we are planning on just repurposing this for when we get a whole like tractor load of hay and stuff like that. So if you didn't need it this big, you could find a better size. And we've just weighted this bottom down over here. Looks like not so great at the moment, but yeah, this is how it's set up. And there they are eating away. So they get the same food that our other animals get. So our laying hens get the same food, and our pigs get the same food, but we ferment it. And just real quick, like, I'll show you that. We keep it in a tub over here just so it's easy with a nice tight lid. And this is what it looks like. It is sweet cob. I'll show you. It's sweet cob, Milo maize. The cob has some corn in it. And it has, let me see. I'm trying to remember which I got. I got barley in there. Also, it has some range minerals, and it also has kelp and seed oil and flaxseed. I think that's what I have in there. Let me shut this. So one of the things that we decided is if they take a little longer to get big, due to the fact that we're feeding them this kind of food versus a commercial meat bird food, then we're fine with that. Okay, so I'll show you this thing. I can show you the brand. I'm not trying to badmouth the brand, but it's just like the worst. That's what's left of the label, so I don't know. Something, maybe Harris Farms, I don't know. This is the worst ever. So don't buy this unless you plan on modifying it. And we just have it on some random flat thing that we found. So that little thing on the bottom, that black one, is supposed to be that if you tighten it or loosen it, it comes out faster or slower from here. But we have found that if you tighten it, it just stops. And if you barely crack it, I mean like a centimeter's cracking, it just pours all the way out. So they were without water all the time, and we'd have to keep filling it. And the reason why I got this kind is because it fills from the top, which is awesome. That concept is good. So what we did to alter it is just buy a 2-pack of these little things here. So this, when they peck on it, it just fills with water. It's basically gravity based because of the way that this is. Hi, chicken. And so that's how we altered this to make it work instead of buying another waterer. I think we spent $8 on these two, and I probably could have got a better price, but I just bought them wherever I was because we wanted them right away. And this whole thing was like $25 or $30, and it's been horrible since the day we got it. So that's that. Another thing I wanted to mention is we did strategically place it underneath this juniper tree that we have here for extra shade and extra protection. It'll keep this area a lot cooler, like a little micro ecosystem over here. So that is why we placed it right here. It's also very close to the garden, which is there. Okay, so I can easily throw them some scraps from the garden, and that just makes everybody happy. Another reason why it is here, and I'll show you in a second. So this year we have in this black, these are the same posts as the white ones, they're just black instead of white. In this area here next to the garden, starting here, that's our melon and pumpkin patch this year. And what my plan is that we've got chickens here, right? And then I'd love to maybe put another group here after we're done growing. And so that's just gonna help give more nutrients and everything to the garden area. And honestly, I'm excited because I just decided, like, this is my raised bed gardens are in here. Basically what we're gonna do when this growing season is over, before I plant the fall garden, I am going to let the pigs and the goats, like, at different times go through this garden and just rip things out, because I have this beautiful weed that I hate so much. It's like a primrose variety, and it takes over everything, like literally everything. People rave about garden beds not having any weeding. Not here. If I didn't have this stupid plant, then I wouldn't have. Here it is. It's like a version of primrose, and it's a crawly thing. If you lay cardboard down, it will live under the cardboard and find like the smallest crack and come out. It gets into the garden beds. Very, very invasive. So the chickens are going to be working for us over there. That's why I picked that spot, so we can expand the garden that direction. And we also want to expand the garden the other direction. And we're just going to use animals to help us with that. The sun is starting to set, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. Just a real quick, super easy idea. Instead of having to make, like, if you want to do pastured chickens, they're not out here very long, these kind, you know what I mean? But if you wanted to do that and you don't want to build something, or you don't have the skills to do that, all we did on this right here is drive a T-post in, push the cattle panel against it, and drive the other side in. And then we did it again the next length. That requires 0 building skills. So I hope that's helpful to you guys. You can use this concept for pretty much anything. A goat would live in there, okay? A goat would be perfectly happy in this. Not so much a pig, okay? Because they need a lot more strength. They push on things and they really find your weak spots. But that kind of a shelter is pretty cheap compared to building something, and it's super fast. You can put that up in just a couple of hours. So that's awesome. And yeah, lots of happy chickens here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful to you. And if you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.